Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and for today's video we're going to talk about what I'm going to be reading in the first month of this new year. I'm going to be bringing to you my January TBR. If you're new and you don't know what TBR stands for, it means to be read, so I'm outlining all of the books that I would like to read within the month of January. That's it. I didn't pick too many books for the month of January because I kind of want to allow myself a little bit more wiggle room with my TBR and not feel super stressed about anything. And so there are more books that I do want to read in the month of January, and hopefully I'll do a reading vlog at some point throughout the month. Hopefully I'll do more than one, but we'll see. But yeah, so I didn't pick too many because school starts, and so I don't know how overwhelming that will be. It will be toward the end of the month, but still, I don't know realistically how everything's gonna work out for me. I have 6 books to talk about today. Decent amount of them are pretty thick, but I'm super excited about all of them. And these are the ones that I think that I am the most likely to get to in the month of January. So let's get started. We'll start with the one that I have to read because of a buddy read that I'm so excited to be doing, and that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's January 29th and I am on page 26 of this. It starts on page 16, so I'm not very far at all, or maybe it starts even later than that, I don't know. But this has been getting so much hype, and the first two books came out last year, and the third one comes out this year. I think it's like a 5-book series or something like that. And so I'm super excited to dive into this and see how I feel about it, because like I said, so many people have been talking about this series this year, and I want to know what all of the hype is about. I know that it takes place following these two characters, Poppy and Hawk, and it's a fantasy romance, but I don't know really any more than that. I am filming a separate reading vlog for this book specifically, so once I've finished this book, you guys will know and you'll be able to see my entire reaction throughout the course of it. But yeah, I'm really excited to be reading this and be doing it with a buddy read. I think it's going to be so much fun. I want to understand all of the fan art and I want to understand why everyone's so obsessed with it. But I've also been seeing a lot more mixed reviews lately, so that makes me a little nervous. The other book that I'm currently in the middle of is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is definitely a very challenging read, given the context. It's a very quick read, the writing is very accessible, I find, but this is kind of a literary fiction about this girl whose name is Vanessa, and we're following her in 2 different timelines. First one is 2000, where she is a 15-year-old girl at this private high school, and she obviously not consensually enters a relationship with her 42-year-old English teacher. And this is obviously problematic. And then we follow her 17 years later when the Me Too movement is really starting to take shape and a lot more people are getting involved and coming forward. And someone emails Vanessa because they have come forward about the same teacher and had a very similar experience to what Vanessa had. And they want to know if she wants to come forward about her story as well. And at the very beginning of the book, it seems like Vanessa doesn't see anything wrong with what happened, but throughout the course of the book, I am 154 pages in. And so far, we've seen Vanessa kind of really think about everything that's going on and try to determine whether or not she was in the wrong, if her and this teacher were in the wrong together, or if just he was to blame. And she's really struggling with all of that. And it's very, interesting in a very messed up way to see her thought processes, I don't know, in both, timelines, because as everything's going on when, she is 15 and this man is 42, it's obviously so hard to read, and there's so many content warnings. So if you're gonna pick this up, proceed with caution and look up the content warnings before going in if you think that there might be material that you are sensitive to, because there's a lot in here, and I'm only 150, even just 10 pages in, there's a lot. So it's a difficult read, but I think it's an important book, and I don't want to say I'm enjoying it because this is definitely not a book that you enjoy by any means, but it's very well done. Most of these books are books that I was already currently reading because I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, new year, I finished everything. No, not me. Wish it could be me. Probably won't ever be me though. And then we have a book that I think I'm buddy reading as well, but I don't remember if I'm buddy reading this or if I'm buddy reading the next one. But we have A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. I am 145 pages into this. I was supposed to read it last month, didn't happen. Whoops. But I am super excited to hopefully finish this one and finish off the entire series. I have loved this series as much as I've read of it thus far. It's been a wild ride and I'm nervous for the endings of both of these books, but I think that they're going to be amazing. So, need to finish this one. If you don't know, this is a Roman-inspired fantasy following Laia and Elias, who are rebels to this like academy that they have in this world, and so much more ensues from there. And it's also a slow burn romance. So, I don't know what more you need to pick this up, but please pick it up. It was a series that I thought I would never really enjoy, based off of the synopsis that I'd heard so many times, and then I picked it up and I couldn't stop reading it until I got to this book and I got 145 pages in and was burnt out. So then we have another one that I was supposed to read last month, and I was actually supposed to read a lot longer ago than that, and that is The Poppy War by R.F. Kong. I am 220 pages into this and freaking loving it. Again, there are a lot of content warnings for this. I haven't gotten to too many of them. I think I've gotten to a few of them, but I haven't gotten to like the really, really dark stuff yet. I think that comes when like the war starts, which I don't really think is a spoiler given that it's in the title. But we are following our main character, Bryn, who is this poor war orphan, and she studies so hard to get into this academy so that she can kind of have a little bit of freedom and get away from her foster family, and she can get into a really good academy and become a soldier and kind of just do what she wants and reclaim her life. And then her country is going to war, and the school is brutal to begin with, and so like she might not make it out alive. It's all very stressful, but I'm really enjoying this. This is, I believe, inspired by the Opium Wars. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it's inspired by. And so there are a lot of content warnings in this one as well, because it takes place during a war. It's an adult fantasy. I've been wanting to read more adult fantasy, so I'm very excited to get to this one too. Then we have two books that I haven't started yet. The first one is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I've heard so much about this and only positive things. This is his debut, I believe, and it's a new fantasy series. This came out last year or the year before, I think. And I honestly don't know what it's about other than it's an adult fantasy. It's pretty accessible and people freaking love it and fly through it. So I'm hoping that I also love it. There are dragons in it, obviously, because of the title. And the sequel is already out to this, and it's not a duology, but at least I'll have more material if I need it once I finish this. And the last book in this, I was going to say book haul, TBR, is Undercover Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. I read the Bromance Book Club like the middle of 2020, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure I gave it either a 4 or a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. And I have been meaning to pick up the sequel ever since. Basically, we are following some of Nashville's like most elite men. They're doing pretty well for themselves, except in the romance category of their life. They are all struggling a little bit. Some of them are married, some of them are single, some of them are in relationships, but they don't know how to further them, I guess. And so they are all part of this book club called the Bromance Book Club, where they have to read a romance novel to kind of help them through their like problems in their personal life with their romantic endeavors. And so in the first book, we're following Gavin Scott, I think. Maybe that's wrong. I don't actually know. But he is a pro athlete and his marriage is struggling, so much so that his wife has already filed for divorce and he's trying to win her back. I'm excited for this one. It's not a second chance romance. They're just kind of like trying to figure things out. I don't know what's going on in this one. I'm just excited to read it. Those are the 6 books that I would like to read in the month of January. I think that that will definitely kick off my year and be like a really good start. I don't know yet what I want my Goodreads goal to be for 2021, so this is definitely going to be interesting. But my reading goals video for 2021 will be out soon, so stay tuned for that, as well as my best and worst books of 2020 and all of those fun videos that come at the end or beginning of the appropriate years. I'm really excited for 2021. I know that things necessarily aren't changing just because it's a new year, but I am excited. I saw a post on Bookstagram and someone put it this way, and they said 2021 isn't resetting anything, but they're excited for the hope that comes with the start of a new year. And I honestly couldn't say it any better than that. So definitely how I'm feeling. Let me know in the comments below what you want to read in January, or just what your top books of 2021 that you want to get to are. That will also be a video that I need to film and will be coming shortly. But hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope you're doing well reading, mentally and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!